Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make this intervention on behalf of SUCo SA and several other observers, a list which can be provided in written form. A fellow observer from the Community Leaders Network highlighted it perfectly in an earlier session. Take away the incentives and the benefits of the sustainable use of natural resources from the communities, and they'll most likely be to convert wild habitat to other land use options to ensure that they can provide for their families. Echoing the comments made by numerous parties, CITES' main objective is to ensure that trade does not jeopardize species survival. With specific reference to in situ conservation in South Africa, we have an abundance of elephants, with an excess of over 1,000 adult breeding females now under some form of contraceptive to prevent them from breeding. As this project is predominantly funded by HSI Africa, something which baffles many is either a species is endangered and it requires protection under CITES to ensure its growth and protection, or it is overpopulated and requires population control. It cannot be both. Clearly, it is not trade in live exports, legally hunted trophies, or even poaching that is a threat, but rather the lack of habitat. Hence the relevance of a split listing between CITES Appendix 1 and Appendix 2, with populations of South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Namibia listed in Appendix 2. Madam Chair, I'd like to remind the parties that you all might be free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choice. As the overpopulation of elephants in many areas of southern African countries are having devastating impacts on fauna and flora, with the vanishing top canopy trees and subsequent destruction of key vulture nesting sites, as well as many other threatened bird species, to demonstrate a brief example. Any form of further trade restrictions of any kind on domestic trade and export will merely further disincentivize local communities that in most instances carry the burden of tolerating an already overpopulated elephant population. Communities hold the key as the custodians of the most essential component ensuring elephant survival, which is the habitat in which they live. Furthermore, the limitations proposed on in situ conservation within historic or natural distribution ranges in Africa will have conservation impacts on the movement of southern white rhino within Africa through unintended consequences. Undoing many rewilding conservation initiatives, considering Doc 66.41 and 2 are about elephant, we suggest all reference to southern white rhino be removed. In conclusion, SUCo SA reminds the parties that this prestigious convention is not a welfare forum, and these discussions are outside of its mandate as it infringes on sovereign rights. It is the view of SUCo SA that the proposal of 66.41 is an overreach by the proponents' parties.
SUCo SA, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're at 3 minutes.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm finished. Thank you.